Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Nottingham Forest, reported by David Ornstein. After losing another game today against Newcastle in the Premier League St James Park, Ange Postecoglou has been sacked, bro. And you know what? I don't blame him. 7 games on with no wins, like, bro, this can't keep going on. They sacked Nuno for doing less, bro. He lost 3 in one game, he got sacked. And look at Ange Postecoglou. This guy is so bad, bro. Imagine finishing 17th at Tottenham and you decide to sign him as a manager. He is not good enough for the Premier League, bro. And this has been reported by David Ornstein. Ange Postecoglou has been sacked. And I can't lie, bro. I feel bad for him, bro. But I can't lie, bro. He has to go. He has to go, man. Whatever people want to say, he has to go. He just ain't good enough for the Premier League. Let's be honest. He needs to go back to Celtic or the Greek League because the Premier League is too hard for him. But yeah, it's been reported by David Ornstein. He's been officially sacked by the manager. Bro, Marinakis is angry, bro. He is very angry. And I don't blame him, bro. Ange is one of the worst managers in Premier League history, bro. He can't win games. We don't miss Isak. Nick Woltemade has just scored a penalty and he said this on camera. This is crazy, bro. Nick Woltemade and Isak beef already, bro. And I can't lie, right now, Nick Woltemade, he's winning it, bro. 3 games, 3 goals in the league. I think he scored 1 in the Champions League as well. And Isak's only got 1 goal and that was in a League Cup. And as you can see, Nick Woltemade said to the camera, we don't miss Isak. This is insane, bro. This is insane. But to be fair, Newcastle don't miss Isak right now, bro. Woltemade is doing the job. Look at that penalty. That was a crazy finish. And I can't lie, he's value for money right now, bro. 70 million. It looks worth it, bro. He's so good on the ball. He's scoring goals, scoring heads. Whatever type of goal you want, he's bringing it. And I can't lie, what a player they have signed, bro. And him saying that to the camera is cold. Isak needs to respond, bro. He needs to start scoring goals in games because, bro, Nick Woltemade is showing levels right now. But this is insane. Him saying this on the camera as well, bro, I can't lie, this is insane, man. Nick Woltemade is a very good player, though. One of the best strikers in the Premier League right now. In form, he's so good, man. And him saying that to the camera is insane.
You can't have adverts on TV now, can you, for chocolate bars and stuff? Like, we were all right. What a goal! What a goal! Bruno Guimaraes. That was, I tell you what, that's how you go 1-0 up in a game. What an absolute banger that is. Absolutely brilliant. And will be even better from behind, trust me. Gets it. There might be talk of a foul in the build-up, but I don't really think it was. And he gets it on the edge of the box and picks his spot in the top corner. Ange is bloody shaking his head. I can't bloody believe it, mate. You know, what the bloody hell's going on here? But, come on. Well, that's not a foul on Gibbs White because he wins the ball back. Well, it probably is a foul, actually. He does body check him. But it'd be a shame to rule this goal out. Such a good goal. Edge of the box. Lovely curl and dip. It's a lovely goal. I mean, you're probably going to be very angry if you think that's a foul on Gibbs White. The funny thing is, there was a yellow card for a very similar tackle in the first half. So consistency's probably not quite fair there.
On to the third game on Sunday Night Football. We have got Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. Another one, I'm going to say, isn't actually too tough to predict. It sounds like it should be a tough game to predict, but in my eyes, it's not. Going off Newcastle's last game against Arsenal, they were unlucky not to come out of that with, you know, at least 1 point, let alone 3. But obviously they lost 2-1 to a last-minute Gabriel Bosch. They were unlucky, played really well against Arsenal, had some good chances. I think they hit the post a few times as well. But they were really unlucky not to come out of that with some sort of result. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, what on earth is Ange Postecoglou doing? What's going on? They can't win anything. Can't win in Europe, can't win in the league. They can't even win in the Carabao Cup. Forest. What's happening? You weren't this bad under Nuno. I know they had a falling out, the owner and Nuno, but this is abysmal. It's really bad. I've got here 3-0 loss versus West Ham, 3-0 versus Arsenal, 1-1 versus Burnley, and lost to Sunderland, and lost in Europe midweek. They're going to lose again. Newcastle are going to win. They're going to get back onto winning ways. I'm going for... What do I go with here? Do I think Forest are going to score? No, I don't. I think Newcastle will be too fast for them, too clever for them. 2-0 Newcastle.
Name's Mate. Ange Postecoglou. Mate. 007. And just gone 007 at Nottingham Forest. 7 games, no wins. And surely that's the end game for him now. Newcastle away, not easy, but his future was in serious doubt coming into this game anyway. And it's not going to get any easier either. Look at the next run of games. They've got Chelsea, first game after the international break, Porto, Bournemouth, Man United, Sturm Graz in the Europa League, Leeds, and then Liverpool. This is all on Marinakis. Like, absolutely all on Marinakis. I feel sorry for Ange, to be honest. The Forest fans have turned on him, and I think they'll probably be turning on the owner sooner rather than later. I know why they sacked Nuno. I understand it. I know some of the fans were on board with it. I know some of the fans were on board with Ange, although most were against it. And now you're basically very likely to sack him 7 games into his tenure there, when it probably wasn't going to work anyway. It was a massive sea change in terms of style from Nuno to Ange. To implement that quickly without a pre-season, Ange, it was never going to work. And the problem is, coming into this game, it's not as if they were seeing moments, Forest fans. They were seeing Ange make the same kind of mistakes that he was making at Tottenham that ultimately led to him losing his job. The mistakes from set pieces, getting into winning positions and throwing them away like they did against Swansea, not taking their chances. And again, that's not an issue on the manager. You saw decent performances at moments against Burnley, for example. Betis, they threw a lead away there. Sunderland, they missed chances. But again, from set pieces, they exposed themselves. Midtjylland set pieces today, just out battle, not good enough really, to be honest. There was some, again, it weren't awful, right? When you're a team that has made a very bold decision under the guise of being more ambitious, bringing in a manager that's won the Europa League last season, you want to be seeing more than this. And Forest fans, they had it so good under Nuno last year, even though maybe Nuno's style wasn't sustainable, to sack him and then go and get a manager that's not won in his first 7 games. That was a controversial appointment. He's going to have to do miracles to win the fans back over at this point.
It's been a blast, Ange, honestly. Having you back, your total football in this league, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you for coming. I just hope we've not bought an house. We've not sacked him yet, in fairness. And he is at a club with an owner that's very level-headed, that doesn't just shoot gun really quickly, that's not got an ego as big as his stomach. He's a very level-headed man. I'm sure it'll all work out. I bet he's sacked before Haaland gets his 2nd goal against Brentford. I mean, who would have thought you build a squad around a manager that's very defensively minded and plays on counter-attacks, get a manager in that's the complete opposite that, and then your results gutter pot. What? Did you know that Nuno has won more games for Nottingham Forest in his first game this season than Ange has in every single game combined, all competitions since he took over? Crazy. And the answer to that is 1. Now 2-0 away at Newcastle, on surface of things, ain't even a bad result, but I've just watched that game, and if it weren't for Sells in net, that would a couple fingertips away from being 5-0. They got absolutely battered start to finish. I'm just taking charge of 7 games and got 2 points. Two games they didn't lose. Arsenal away, fair enough. But to lose at Swansea, draw away at Burnley, lose at home to Sunderland, and lose at home to Midtjylland, it's inexcusable. You're gone.